Yeah. The Chargers are back. The Chargers are back. Yeah. The Chargers are back. Welcome to Chargers Talk 4630. Say what's up to Stacey, the host. Always keeping it real though. Rocking with the Chargers since 78. From San Diego up to 5 Mount, LA State. Powder blues clean. Don't let the colors fool you. Jim Harbaugh running the show. Yeah, the coach is brutal. Back to back double-digit wins. Set the tone. Lost a few pieces, but we locked in. Fully loaded zone. Eyes on the future. Yeah, we speak it into heaven. Super Bowl is so fly. 2027. I'm saying your team sidelines nervous. Yeah, they know what it be. Mike McDaniel in the offense scheming like demons, huh? Chris O'Leary in the building. Defense! Defense! Yeah, 3 about to tell us what this team really meant. Playoff run longer, yeah, we put them to sleep. If you want Chargers everything, this is the place to be. Chargers Talk 4630. Nobody's got it better than us. Hey, share and subscribe. Enjoy the show.
This episode of Chargers Talk 4630 is brought to you by Zevo Life, the exclusive patented superfood changing the way people fuel their bodies. Now listen, if you're looking for a game-changing way to improve your health, Zevo Life is the world's most nutrient-dense whole plant. We're talking over 50% plant protein, essential amino acids, fiber, and powerful antioxidants, all in one natural source. Just 1 teaspoon a day supports your gut, boosts your energy, and promotes healthier skin and hair. And the best part, people everywhere are giving it a 5-star review because it works. So if you're ready to feel the difference, head over to Zevo.life and start your journey with their 30-day risk-free guarantee. And because you're a loyal listener of this podcast, you get an exclusive 30% discount. Just use my code ChargeTalk4630 at checkout. That's without the R. That's ChargeTalk4630. Take control of your health today with Zevo Life. Your body will thank you. Good morning. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Chargers Talk 4630. I'm Stacey. And before I get going with today's episode, please like, share, and subscribe to keep our community growing. Now, if you've been rocking with the Chargers like I have, you already know this offseason is going to define this era of Chargers football, right? So here is my blueprint on what I would do if I was the GM and in charge of handling the Chargers offseason. Before I get into this, though, I want to make sure I'm clear on my stance because I already know how the comments can get. What I'm about to do today is not a prediction. I'm not telling you what the Chargers will do. I'm not an NFL scout. I'm not inside the building. But for this episode, I'm going to pretend to be the Chargers general manager today. I'm putting myself in the big chair and laying out what I would do this offseason if my job was to take this team from good to great and from a playoff team to a legitimate Super Bowl contender. That means who would I resign, who would I move on from, and who would I take in the first round of the 2026 draft with the 22nd pick. Now, you don't have to agree with me, but that's the whole point, right? I respect everyone's opinion, but I also have my own. And I know the Chargers may go in a completely different direction, but this is just my blueprint for what I believe gives this team the best chance to win the Super Bowl this year. And at the end, I want to hear from you. I would like to know what you thought of my blueprint and what would you do differently. So let's have some fun with this a little bit, right? How I went about this, I looked at what is the Chargers' biggest priority at pick 22, right? And I looked at about 5 to 7 guys that was projected to go between picks 22 to 25, and I watched a lot of film on them, and that's how I decided who the Chargers should take. We having a little fun with this, so remember, Charger fans, in case they don't align up with what you think, it's okay. I took these selections seriously, and I tried to make moves to improve the team as if I'm Joe Ortiz. So play along with me, all right? So let's go. Now, the Chargers is walking into one of the most important off seasons in this franchise history, right? I believe this is the year we get it done. No more excuses. No more wait till next year. Justin Herbert is in his prime. You got a big-time coach in Jim Harbaugh, and the Chargers is sitting on a mountain of cap space along with the 22nd pick in the draft. So here's why this offseason is different for me. The Chargers are projected to have around $88 million in cap space, and depending on the moves they make, that could easily climb well over the $100 million mark. They're picking 22nd in the draft. They have the quarterback, they have the coach, and the window is officially open. Yes, I'm talking about the Super Bowl window. But here's the catch. They're picking 22nd in the draft. They have the quarterback, they have the coach, and the window is officially open. Yes, the Super Bowl window. Nearly 26 players are hitting free agency. That's almost half the roster. So this offseason isn't just about talent, right? It's about who's choosing to stay, who goes, and who this team is going to be. So we're having some fun, Charger fans. So let's do it this morning. And let me be clear. This is not going to be all sunshine and rainbows. These are some really, really tough decisions. The offensive line was inconsistent last year, obviously, because of the injuries. The defense has playmakers, but up until about week 10, it did get pushed around at times in the run game, right? And for podcast purposes, I'm the general manager right now, so I can't be emotional. I have to be aggressive, and I have to be smart. Okay, here is my must-keep players. First name at the top of my list is Odafe Oweh. Why? He's 27 years old, he's entering his prime, and what he did in the playoffs alone should make this a no-brainer. The projection is around 4 years, $77 million, and I've already heard people saying that's too much for him. Well, welcome to free agency where the market value is always to overpay, right? It's the reason everybody eventually, at least once in their careers, wants to be a free agent. Odafe Oweh finished with 11.5 sacks, that's including the playoffs. The Chargers need pass rushers. You don't let that talent walk out the door. Next up is Khalil Mack. Now, Khalil Mack, this one's a little tricky for me. Now, he's 34 years old. There's a lot of chatter around whether he continues to play or whether he call it a career. Now, I think Khalil Mack is still a force. He can still set the edge. He may not be the pass rusher he was years ago, but he still is very good with stopping the run, and he can be disruptive in spurts, right? He still affects how offenses call plays when he's on the other side. So for the right price, 1 year, around maybe $14 million, bringing him back is still possible. And besides, it would be nice to have a three-headed monster of Mack, Oweh, and Thule, right? That should be a nightmare for most offenses. But everything starts with protecting Justin Herbert, especially after last season, right? Slater and Joe Alt, when healthy, that's 2 elite tackles. No worries there. Now, the interior, that's where you invest. Hey guys, I got to put you on to something I've been checking out. It's a company called Distill Union. They make these slick minimalistic wallets and magnetic key organizers, right? That just makes life easier. And get this, I've got an exclusive 20% off just for you. All you got to do is go to DistillUnion.com, make your purchase, and don't forget, when you check out, use my code ChargeTalk4630. I earn a small commission when you use my code, so when you buy, you're not only supporting me and the show, you're getting the best deal they offer. Zion Johnson caught heat early in his career, but he got better. And once the injuries hit, he was the most reliable lineman on the team. He just was. He now has experience, he's durable, he's affordable, he's a starter, and you don't let that walk out the door either. Now let's talk about debt pieces, right? These are hard decisions. Trey Pipkins, if you can upgrade him, do it. If not, he's a reliable backup. Jamari Salyer, I'm definitely keeping him. Trevor Penning, I'm keeping him too as a debt piece, right? No team has a line with 5 Pro Bowl linemen, but depth wins seasons, right? Now let's talk a little bit about a couple of veteran players. Guys like Keenan Allen and Denzel Perryman. For me, the approach is simple. Do you bring them back on a team-friendly deal? Maybe, maybe not. I tell you what I won't do is I won't overpay. But realistically, I think it's time to get younger and get more athletic. So if someone offers them more, I will say to both of them guys, you've been great. Keenan Allen, you're an all-time Charger. I thank you. But now it's time to move forward, right? Tough decisions, but smart decisions, right? Smart decisions is made with the head and not the heart. Now, let's transition over into the draft. Pick number 22 gives the Chargers flexibility, right? And that's where Jim Harbaugh football comes in. Now, 2 things, right? If the Chargers decide to go defense in the first round with the 22nd pick, I have 2 players depending on if either one is there with that 22nd pick, and I also have 2 options if they decide to go offense with the 22nd pick. So let me lay it out for you. Let's start off assuming they're going defense with the first pick. If Caleb Banks from Florida is on the board at 22, for me, it's a no-brainer. Take a look at what I saw on tape. Look how Caleb Banks just blows this play up in the backfield for a big loss. The center has no chance. I mean, he pushed him right into the lap of the quarterback. Here, he splits the center and right guard, applying more pressure, which affects the throw of the quarterback. And when I look at Caleb Banks, I see a massive man that's 6'6", 325 pounds, who does not move like that size, right? Early on at Florida, he was still figuring things out, but he was already playing 11 starts, big upside too. Then late in his junior year, it all clicked. 7 pressures against LSU, followed by another 7 against Ole Miss, where he had 3.5 tackles and 2.5 sacks. That's when the ceiling showed up. And what I respect is He could have came out last year, but he went back to school, even with first-round buzz, just to tighten his technique. On tape, he moves like he's 40 pounds lighter, explosive first steps, strong hands, collapses pockets, even through double teams. His ceiling is extremely high. So if the Chargers go defense in round one, this is the kind of interior presence Harbaugh wants, right? Big, powerful, and disruptive. Now, I'm not saying he's there yet, but he's got that Warren Sapp type upside. If they land Caleb Banks at 22, that's definitely a win. Now, if you get to pick 22 and Banks is not there, my backup plan is Peter Woods from Clemson. I will take him easily. As you look at film on Peter Woods, he fights off double teams, still get there to make the tackle, right? The first blocker usually gets stood up or thrown out the way. Look how he throws this defender away with ease, shedding the block and hitting the A-gap. There's so many times where he looks unblockable. Peter Woods out of Clemson is another defender I like. At 6'3", 310 pounds, he's explosive off the snap with rare athleticism for an interior big man, a first-step burst that puts stress on guards and disrupt both run and the pass. Woods shows real strength at the point of attack. He can shoot gaps. He has the versatility to play multiple fronts inside. I've read some scouts saying they wanted to see more consistency as a pass rusher and better gap discipline. But he brings power, quickness, and the kind of disruptive traits that can anchor a defensive line. Peter Woods is a tone setter inside who could rush the passer and hold up against the run. Woods is definitely in that conversation. A first-round type talent with legit upside. He swallows double teams, collapses pockets. He has a high motor. Picture Woods inside with McEnroe outside. That's how you build a defense. Now, let's say the Chargers decide to go offense. If you haven't seen film on this guy, I pray he's there at pick 22. And I also think he's the best interior lineman in this draft. And I'm talking about the guard from Penn State, Olavevega Uwani. He's a 6'4", 330-pound guard with real power, strong feet, and excellent technique who was a plug-and-play starter for Penn State over the last 2 seasons. He's a mauler in the run game, consistently moves defenders off the ball, and last year he didn't allow a single sack, showing reliability and pass protection that NFL teams love, right? Now, what makes Olavevega Uwani really interesting is his combination of strength, grit, and movement for a man his size. He can handle bull rushes and still get out to the second level on zone schemes. In a draft where guard help is a real need for the Chargers, he's the kind of guy you could start day one and trust to stabilize that interior. If he's still there, I take him with the quickness, immediate upgrade, a physical day one starter. Either way, you're building through the trenches. The Chargers will be so lucky if Olavevega Uwani is there at 22. But if he's not there, my second choice for a lineman would be Emmanuel Pregnon out of Oregon. They call him the big people mover, as you can see here. He departs defenders like the Red Sea. I haven't seen anybody that can pull the way Emmanuel can. He is one of the top guards in this class and a perfect fit for a team that needs offensive line help right away. He's a big guy at 6'5", 318 pounds who started every game for the Ducks, and he earned multiple first-team All-American honors. Pregnon's consistency stood out. He allowed 0 sacks and just a handful of pressures. He anchored the line against top Big Ten fronts. He helped Oregon finish 11-1 and into the college football playoffs. He brings power in the run game, reliable pass protection, and the kind of polish that should let him step in day one and stabilize the interior. If he's there at pick 22, although he's projected to be a high to mid-second round pick, I think from what I see, he has first-round talent and is absolutely worth taking here at 22 if you need a guard. So I'll say it again. The days of wait till next year are over. This blueprint turns the Chargers from a playoff hopeful into a legitimate Super Bowl threat. Now, that's my perfect offseason. That's what I would do if I was GM. What would you do differently? You know, after putting this whole blueprint together, one thing is clear. I would not want to be Joe Ortiz right now. You're talking about 26 players hitting free agency, and a lot of these guys in their specific roles, they flat balled out, right? They handled their assignments, they bought into the system, and they played a major role in why this team stacked back-to-back double-digit wins and made the playoffs 2 years in a row. A big part of that success came from strong drafting and elite player development. They got young players ready fast. These rookies and second-year guys weren't just learning. They were contributing immediately, right? Then you mix in the right veterans, guys who understood their roles and played them well, right? And suddenly, you had a roster that played way beyond outside expectations. But now comes the hard part. If you're fired up like me for what's to come, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and rock with Chargers Talk 4630 right here on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcast. This is Chargers Talk 4630. I'm Stacey. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of the week and the Super Bowl.
Chargers Talk 4630. Chargers Talk 4630. Where the Bowl fam comes from Chargers news. All love, all football. Yeah, we keep it smooth. Chargers Talk 4630. Chargers Talk